New information tonight in the Ebola outbreak. For the first time, apparently the deadly virus has been transmitted outside of Western Africa. The newest patient is a nurse's assistant in Spain. She treated a Spanish priest in Madrid who had worked in Sierra Leone. Meanwhile, an Ebola patient in Dallas, Texas receives a new experimental drug. Greta KREUZ is live in the newsroom with more. Greta?
That's right, Maureen. The Spanish health minister said today that tests confirmed that nurse's assistant does have Ebola. Her only symptom was a fever. But more countries are now having to treat Ebola patients, including another American just back from West Africa. 33-year-old freelance cameraman Ashoka Mukpa is back from Liberia. He landed in Omaha, Nebraska this morning and is now in a hospital there. Mukpo may have contracted Ebola while helping to clean a car in which somebody died.
He walked off the plane, gingerly waved to us as we saw him from a distance.
He's enormously relieved to be here. Of course, it's still quite frightening, but he's hanging in and he sounds very strong.
Quite a contrast to the family of Ebola patient Thomas Duncan in Dallas, Texas. They're increasingly frustrated by his worsening condition.
The medicine that they gave the other Americans that came from Africa 2 days ago, that gave him the same medicine. I don't think Americans, they are doing enough to save him.
Today, officials announced they've gotten emergency FDA approval and have started treating Duncan with an experimental drug, the third such drug used to treat Ebola.
Hopefully, with the continued support they're giving him, his body will be able to fight this off. But the signs we're hearing are not good.
Duncan is now in critical but stable condition, unconscious, on a ventilator, and on dialysis. 9 family members are in quarantine. And President Obama today called Ebola a top national security priority, saying the U.S. is looking at additional protocols for handling the epidemic. And Dallas officials also announced today they have finished cleaning Thomas Duncan's apartment. Remember the big outcry over soiled sheets that were left on his bed for days. And Texas Governor Rick Perry called for enhanced screening and quarantines at borders to help prevent an outbreak here. Live in the newsroom, Greta KREUZ, ABC 7 News.
Thank you, Greta. Meanwhile, the president says some countries are not doing enough to confront the Ebola crisis in West Africa. Mr. Obama says he intends to put pressure on other heads of state to do everything they can to join in the effort.